And let's go to Zanzibar now, where residents are still waiting for a decision on whether or not the election results there will be reinstated. The Electoral Commission in Zanzibar announced on Wednesday that it had cancelled the election over electoral malpractices. International observers, including from the African Union and European Union, have however said the polls were carried out in a competent and largely efficient manner. Zanzibar's Electoral Commission said the island's vote, where the 500,000 registered electorate also voted for Tanzania's national president, must be carried out again, citing violations of electoral law. African and other international observers in Tanzania said they were deeply concerned at Zanzibar's annulment, urging leaders to cast aside their differences to ensure peace. Meanwhile, the ruling Chama Mapinduzi party now says it is willing to have a constitution of that country amended to allow for presidential election petitions. The opposition has complained about the results, but they have no room to mount a court challenge.
We went into this election, all of us are clearly aware that that option is not available. So you cannot get to the end of election and then complaining that that option is not available. The rationale for unavailability of this option is historic, but we have decided as a party and as a country, when we were going through the constitutional review process last year and early this year, to change that provision. So as CCM, we are in support of an idea of challenging or petitioning the presidential vote.
All right. Edward Lowassa also complaining that perhaps he wasn't being heard as much as members of the CCM whenever he talked about some of the challenges that were presented to him in this campaign to the NEC. He feels like he wasn't being heard. You also made some complaints about problems in different constituencies as CCM, and that made it to the front page of a newspaper, and it seems like those concerns were heard. Is this the truth?
First of all, up to the closing day of the campaign, the 24th, they were very confident of victory, and they said it in public. So you cannot say that you have had complaints that were not being heard when the last day of campaigning you clearly had no complaints. Mm-hmm. We have raised issues which are very specific in very specific constituencies that we felt that the will of the people has not been materialized, and we said that we're going to challenge those results in those particular seats for members of parliament, and we wait to see whether we will prevail. We haven't it's not that we have gone ahead and succeeded, so I suppose the avenues, the legal avenues that are available to Mr. Lowassa, given the parameters of the law, are still available.
All right, let's think about John Magufuli's presidency now, president-elect, of course. He ran on a ticket of change. How much change can a party that's been around for quite some time now, the oldest party in Tanzania, present, considering that the president-elect himself has been a member of the party for as long as perhaps I've been alive? What kind of change is he going to bring that Tanzanians haven't seen?
It is true. I mean, all of us ran on change. But there is change and there's quality of leadership. So those two dynamics were in play in this election. Eventually, if you sell change, as Lowassa did, while you also have been in part of the establishment for the past 40 years, it's very difficult for people to buy it. Now, if you put in scale between our candidate, Mr. Magufuli, and Mr. Lowassa, and measure the level and the quality of leadership among the two candidates, the choice was clear. And also, if you do the change scale as well, Magufuli represented, outsider, fresh face compared to Mr. Lowassa. So for us, it was quite interesting that the opposition, who normally it's easier for them to run on change, chose a candidate which make it difficult for them to run on change.